Welcome everyone to the second day of Chakra Food, Rainbow People, for 7 days of rest and sacred renewal. And today we're working with orange, my little signature headband. And we're going to make, first we're going to make an orange, lemon, one organic mandarin, half a lemon, maybe a little piece of apple, but that's optional. And a little wee piece of turmeric. It's kind of a big piece, it's organic. And we're making some orange turmeric lemon water to detoxify in the morning. I'm going to get some nice structured water. Here we go. I put messages on my water. Where are we here? It says wisdom, love. And I'm going to put a liter in there. And we're going to strain this water, our orange water, in the morning, because if we can give our body a little bit of time to not have to break down fiber, then we can just spend the energy just detoxifying in the morning. We're in our deepest detoxification state until about 11 o'clock. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to blend this up. Some beautiful orange water. I love storing in liter or half a liter containers because a lot of them can fit into the fridge. And they're such a gift, such a gift. I'm straining here. Beautiful orange chakra water. I'm going to take this pulp and I'm going to put it right back in the blender for our creamsicle. And so if we just drink our orange water or red water like we had yesterday, or the different colored waters coming up in the morning without the fiber, we can give our bodies a chance to continue detoxifying. And then our next meal, whenever we're hungry, can be a smoothie. So let's just make that now. So what we're kind of doing here is we're making a whole day of worth of food in about 15 minutes. So I have my pulp in here and I'm putting a couple mandarin oranges. I'm putting a piece of turmeric. I washed it. It doesn't have to be peeled if you don't want to peel it. It's organic. What I'm making right now is called a creamsicle, because I used to love the ice cream creamsicles as a child. And I believe that everything that we crave as children that we really liked, whether it's chocolate of some type, you know, like peanut butter cups or whatever, we can make a really healthy version of that, one that nourishes us and gives us energy instead of taking away our energy. Here's 4 dates, pitted dates, organic. And I have some coconut milk that I made. And we'll make some milks at the end on day 7. And I'm going to pour a cup of coconut milk into my creamsicle. It's nice thick. It's almost like a coconut cream. And I'm going to put a cup of my structured love water, because we're water, 99% molecularly water. And I'm going to put 2 ice cubes because I like my creamsicle to be a little cool, but you don't have to. Disappearing here. I got my blessed water here. And I'm going to blend this. I'm going to turn off and mute for a minute. I'm going to do my blender dance and I'm going to make my smoothie for my next meal. Sorry about that. This is my creamsicle as my next meal of the day. And the next thing that we will make is we will make a quick squash soup in the same blender. So let's keep this really easy. Next, after we have our beautiful orange creamsicle smoothie that we'll put in the fridge until we're ready to eat next, we'll use our same blender because that's pretty easy. And I'm using a couple different types of squash with a little bit of green pulp from earlier today. But let's just say we're adding a cup or a cup and a half of squash. I have a spaghetti squash in there and a nice orange squash. It starts with a K. I think it's kombachi squash or something like that. And I am making a squash soup, a real simple squash soup. So I'm adding a cup of squash. I'm adding a heaping tablespoon of miso. I'm using a barley miso. I prefer the barley or the chickpea miso, but if you can't find that in your area and you're okay with soy miso, that's great. It makes it nice and salty and rich. I'm going to add a couple stalks of celery with the leaves in there. Now, if you want your soup to be hot, then you can add hot water. But if you're uncomfortable about plastic and hot water, which I am a little bit, I'll just use room temperature or cold water. And then I heat up the soup after I'm done. I'm going to add an orange pepper, maybe 2 orange peppers. And I'm going to add a cup of plant-based milk of whatever kind. We're going to make a whole bunch of different kinds on day 7. And I'm going to add a couple cups of water to that milk. This time I'm going to add some powdered turmeric. So I'm going to add about a tablespoon of that. Turmeric's such great medicine. So nice and orange. And to just make it a little bit more holiday festive, I'm just going to add a pinch of cinnamon. I order my herbs from an organic place the next province over because they're not radiated. Most herbs and spices are radiated. So you want to find a really, really clean source. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to make a nice creamy squash soup right in the same blender that I made my green water. My orange water. I mostly make green water, so orange today. And then we made a creamsicle, an orange creamsicle. Now we're making a squash soup. So really easy. We don't need to wash out our blender in between. Okay, here we go. I'm going to mute us for a minute. Look at this beautiful festive soup. And I can heat that up in a nice little pot, never in the microwave, people, never ever in the microwave. Look at the color of that, isn't that gorgeous? Should we pour it into a bowl and just see how beautiful that looks? Let's do that. Here we are. Beautiful. When we're serving this, we can put a bit of parsley, or we can beautify it up by sprinkling a little bit of cinnamon on the top. This is how easy it is to eat real food. So we have our orange water in the morning to detoxify our body and allow us to get really hydrated first thing in the morning, a whole liter. And then we go on to have our beautiful nummy creamsicle, everybody's favorite. And then we can have a beautiful squash soup, heated or at room temperature, but I do prefer things a little bit heated in the summer, in the winter. Yeah, in the summer too, sometimes, depending how cold it is. So I want to thank you very much for being here